Before you decide whether you want to go for a debt funding or an equity funding, one thing you need to ask yourself is that what is the certainty of cash flow in future, okay? And what phase of business are you? So for instance, if you are in a phase when you are developing a technology, or the gestation period is going to be really long, then equity is always a better option than the debt, this thing, because then really the debt becomes a burden. And equity partner understands these things and he is willing to play for a longer tenure. So that first thing you need to ask is that what is the business that you are in and what is the life cycle that that business is in before deciding on debt or equity. One important way that we look at businesses is that we normally bucket any of the businesses into three things. So either a business is an adventure trip, or it's a war, or it's a marathon. And you need to decide where you are in. So for example, if you are working on certain technology which is not having a proven market, and you're working on that, then clearly it's an adventure trip. It's like saying that I know my end goal is very attractive, but I don't know what are the challenges that will come during the course of my journey. And if that is the case, then clearly one thing which what he said, that co-founder and advisory board are extremely important. And if that's a life cycle or that's a kind of business you are in, then again equity becomes a better option of investment than the debt. Then you come into a situation where you are actually head-on taking some businesses where you have started generating cash flows, and you're one-on-one competing with players, like if you call about Flipkart, Snapdeal, and Amazon. So that's more kind of a war which you are in, and that's a stage where a lot of debt also will be available to you, and which I'll be covering the venture debt and all those things. And the third part is when you are in a marathon. When I say marathon, is like a lot of your companies, a lot of people who are present here are from businesses which are brick and mortar business, which has been there for ages. And you realize that there are a lot of players like that around in the market, and the scalability will always be challenged because the market itself is fragmented. So that's what we call a marathon, where you are running along with a lot of players who are running. And one thumb rule in marathon is always that you need to have stamina, and you need to go with a very limited load on yourself. And that's a phase when you have to do a mix of a debt and equity. So that's about what kind of business you are in. Third question you need to ask is that what are you looking for? Is it that you're looking for only capital, or are you looking for capital plus knowledge? And clearly the moment you're looking for capital plus knowledge, then your equity options are there, and within debt, then only the venture debt is one of the options which is available.